Hello and welcome back to another installment of Fodder, where we have just a ton of things to get over. We have a new update, and with our new update, as always, comes new figures and new bugs. And this time, they even admit that there's bugs when they release the update. So it's pretty comical. The first thing that we'll go over is we have new figures. Mega Rayquaza, Mega Glalie, is that right? Glalie? I'm going to go with Glalie, and Regigigas are here. Those are all the new UXs. There is a booster 4-pack that's going to have at least a guaranteed R or higher. That's pretty much the same thing we've always had. The 10 packs are guaranteed at least one EX or higher. Again, we've had that for quite some time now. And all the newly released figures are going to come with one chain level, further making chain levels kind of irrelevant. I mean, at this point, and it's been happening for a while, but it's between everything that buffs damage and reduces damage just by being on the field. You got different plates. Like, there are very, very few mirror matches anymore where everything that you have is like the same damage. Like, what it says is what it is. So I'm kind of at the point where I don't know that chain levels actually matter all that much, unless you lose by one chain level, and then it mattered a lot. But we have, as far as EX figures go, we have Regigigas, we have Drampa, we have Glalie, Glalie? I think it's Glalie. Glalie is probably what it is. Frostless, and Snorunt. Trying to figure out what two words make up Snorunt. We've got some new plates. We've got Dragon Sphere. Choose one of your Dragon-type Pokemon until the end of this duel. While that Pokemon is on the field, your Dragon-type Pokemon with 1 MP or lower gain +1. If these Pokemon are not affected by a special condition, they can MP move over Pokemon on the field, which, my goodness, that's a pretty good plate. Then you have Dragon Fang. Choose one of your Dragon-type Pokemon on the field. While that Pokemon is on the field, it does +20 damage. I'm not sure that Dragons really needed the damage buff, but I don't really think that Fire types needed a damage buff either, and they got one. In Booster 10 packs, at least one figure. We know that. In Booster 10 packs, your odds to get a newly released figure are double that of any other at the same rarity. As you can tell by my gems, I did open 2 10 packs, and my first one was utter trash. And I'm not even going to do a 10 pack challenge because they were both 10 packs were really bad. I think I got 1 EX out of each of them. And the only reason why I even pulled the second one is because I wanted the Dragon Sphere plate, which I ended up getting. We have new plates in the shop. We have Meteoric Teachings, which is the Mega Rayquaza. And then you have the Mega Glalie. I'm calling it Glalie, and I just hope that that is correct. If not, you guys are going to murder me. They're still bothering with these Silver Moon Halls. I do not bother with them. And then a notice regarding bugs. Really? Like, raise your hand if you are shocked that they released a game, an update, that had bugs in it. The only thing I'm proud of is at least they acknowledge when they release the game that they have bugs. And like, I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but it's comical at this point. Why do they keep making updates that have a bug every single time? And this time, they even know they have the bug. And they're just like, screw it, we're going to release the update anyways. You know, it really is beating a dead horse. And I hope that this is the last time I really even touch on or mention this. But like, at what point are you going to release an update that works? At what point do you say, you know what? This is really crappy business practice that everything we release is broken. And at some point, like, when do we say, you know what, we're not going to do an update until we know that this works? I mean, that's common business practice. You wouldn't expect a car maker to say, hey, we have the new 2017 model of the Honda Accord, the brakes don't work, but don't worry about that. We'll fix it, but we appreciate you continuing to buy our Honda cars. Like, no. And then when they come out with the next model, they say, you know what? We fixed that brake thing. On the 2019 Honda Accords, the windows don't work. But don't worry about that. We'll fix it. Like, this is a terrible business to be running. And that is another reason, along with the account security, that's another reason why I just don't feel like I should financially support this game anymore. I don't think they really take it seriously at this point. So why am I going to take them seriously? And it hurts my feelings because I actually enjoyed this game for a really long time. But at some point, enough is enough. And at some point, as consumers, you have to say, get your stuff together, or we're going to run you out of business, is essentially what's going to happen there. So we're done talking about that. The Dragon Sphere plate, when choose one of your Dragon type Pokemon until the end of the duel while that Pokemon's on the field, your Dragon type will gain +1. And we went over that, but the bug is they're incorrectly able to MP move from the bench over Pokemon at entry points. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. And they're going to give you a booster ticket for it, so make of it what you will. The summer celebration is here. This is really lengthy. I'm not going to go into all of it. We already know about Mega Rayquaza. You get a daily booster, which they've done that now for like the last 3 updates, I believe. There's summertime boosters, which are nice. If you'll remember last update, they had the fire boosters. These are summertime boosters. And Alola Ninetales is coming soon to an event, which makes me think that there's a team event on the way. And when you log in today, they're going to give you an Alolan Vulpix. But if we go look at these summertime boosters, you have a chance to get special from league matches that drop only Dragon type and Ice type Pokemon. So that's good. I'm glad that they brought those back. That is actually a change that I really enjoy. Remember, it was a few videos ago I mentioned how they used to do that. The month of a banner, they'd have a special booster that would drop those type figures, so people who didn't have all the OP figures of those types for a gym could actually have a chance to get something to enjoy the buffs with. So I'm really glad that they did that. And then the Alolan Ninetales is going to be an EX, but no other talk about it. But we do have the Alolan Vulpix, as I said. You get that whenever you log in. Because I think we are getting a team event this weekend, I'm just going to leave all my 24-hour boosters. I'm not going to open them. I made the dumb mistake last time of opening them to get rid of them before the team event, and then just refilled it up with other boosters. So in 36 minutes from now, I will have 3 rainbow boosters that I will actually hold on to for a few days to see if we do indeed have a team event. I'm going to crack open this locked booster up here. We're going to get a rare, a Grovyle, which I already have a C level 10 of, a Phantump, which I already have a C level 10 of, and a rare metal rare. Let's just jump right into, just so you know, and you guys are going to be able to tell us in just a minute. But what I'm going to do is, instead of you watching my screen as I read the abilities of all these, I'm going to read over the abilities of the new figures, but I'm going to overlay gameplay of the new figures on top of that, as to add a little more entertainment value. The first figure we have is Mega Rayquaza, and if I said Shiny Rayquaza earlier, and I can't remember if I did or not, but it's Mega. It's Mega. It's a Dragon Flying type with the ability of Ripped Sky Rain. This Pokemon can MP move over other Pokemon on the field. While this Pokemon is on the field, all the blue attacks of battle opponents of your Dragon type Pokemon become misses. Your Dragon type and Flying type Pokemon each deal +10 damage. You know, they kind of misled when they said the description about how it's going to be good against blues. I mean, it's only 7 turns. I don't know that Ultra Beast decks really care for 7 turns. If we look at the wheel, it is a 44 wheel slice of extreme speed at 140, which is kind of exactly what I said I thought it would be. And then it's the most powerful gold because when you add the self-buffing for plus 20, you're going to get 160 on your extreme speed. The fly is a 28 wheel slice. This Pokemon jumps over the battle Pokemon and lands 1 to 2 steps away. No miss at level 5, which is nice. And then you have a 20 wheel slice of Dragon Ascent, which hits for 100, which is actually going to be 120. You know, I'm not a fan. I think it's a pretty lackluster Mega there. You can get either your Shiny Ray or your regular Ray to be just about the same as the Mega Rayquaza. I definitely don't think it's worth crafting. How about that? The Mega Glalie it's a full ice type, and it has the ability of Icy Armor. When this Pokemon is knocked out, it returns to being Glalie without moving to the PC. That could be, and that seems like a very nice ability, actually. Your Ice-type Pokemon deal plus 20 damage. If we look over at the wheel, it's going to have a 3-star purple Cold Shear. Scratch that. It's going to have a 3-star purple Sheer Cold, which we know what that does because of Suicune. It's going to banish frozen opponents or just knock them out. No miss at level 5, which I like no miss at level 5 on Megas. I think if you're only going to have the figure for 7 turns, rolling a miss is pretty worthless. Like that, I think having miss like Mega Blastoise does makes Mega Blastoise garbage. Like that's too much miss for 7 turns that you have it. So I like the fact that these are no miss. A 32 wheel slice of Ice Shard, which is a gold 110 attack. Opposing Pokemon within 2 steps of this Pokemon spin. If the result is anything other than a blue attack, the effects of sphere plates used on those Pokemon are nullified. That can be a pretty damaging or crippling roll there. So I think that's a nice little, I think it's a nice wheel. I like that. I don't necessarily like the wheel so much, 32, 32, and 28, but I don't really see a bad roll per se for this figure. And then the 28 wheel slice is Blizzard 130, which is actually going to be 150. If this Pokemon is knocked out, all adjacent Pokemon become frozen. You can come up with some pretty devastating decks there. And remember, when it's knocked out, they're going to become frozen, but it's going to just de-evolve down to Glalie. So remember that. I actually like Mega Glalie. I think it has some utility there. Then we have UX Regigigas. And this is a really weird Pokemon. It's 0 MP with an asterisk. It's a normal type. It has the ability of Slow Start, and that is very aptly named. This Pokemon gains plus 1 MP for each species of Regirock, Regice, and Registeel on the field. This Pokemon cannot be moved by plates, abilities, or other Pokemon's attacks. So what they're saying is you can't do Volt Switch, can't do Long Throw, you can't do Pokemon Switch, or any of those. This thing is staying on the bench until you have another Regi on the board. If we look at the wheel, 180 is where we're at, folks. A 40 wheel slice. If the battle opponent is knocked out, this Pokemon claims its previous spot and gains weight. There's some cheese that can be had there. You have Multi-Blast for 150. Knocks out all Pokemon that have lock-on markers attached to them. And then Revenge. This attack's damage is boosted by 20 for each Pokemon in your PC. This is an amazingly strong figure. And the fact that it can be 3 MP is pretty scary. I don't think it's going to be 3 MP. I don't think it's going to be 3 MP very often, but 2 MP definitely. And I think I think it's very strong. It's very slow though, like it says, and so that may make it not so great against rush decks. We do have Regice. It is a pure ice type with lock-on purple. We know what the lock-ons do. There's no need for me to go over that. It has a 4 miss, which is going to go away at level 5, a 16 protect, a 32 wheel slice of hammer arm, which hits for 150. This Pokemon gains weight. It has Ice Beam, which is a 20 wheel slice that hits for 80. If this Pokemon's knocked out, the battle opponent becomes frozen. And you have Multi-Blast, which is going to knock out all Pokemon that have lock-on markers. I think the lock-on is kind of like the branded. It's very situational. Not going to happen a whole lot, but the one time that it does happen will probably result in a victory for you because it has a chance of absolutely devastating your opponent and everything that they've got going on for sure. We have an EX Drampa. Drampa's a normal dragon, which it actually can be used in a Swablu deck and get -10 for all the Swablu's on the board. This Pokemon has 3 MP if it's confused. I want to run this thing with a Spinda. How about that? You can just confuse it yourself. And I believe Spinda's normal. That's going to be my deck, because I actually did pull a Drampa. I'm going to run Drampa, Spinda, 3 Swablu's. And an Altaria. How about that? When this Pokemon is knocked out in battle, you can move one of your other Pokemon that is in Ultra Space to the point where this Pokemon was. Definitely a Swablu. It has the same wheel as Kyurem, just a lot more miss. A 40 wheel slice of Dragon Pulse that hits for 150, deals plus 50 damage if the battle opponent is a Dragon type Pokemon. A 16 wheel slice of Outrage that hits for 160. This Pokemon becomes confused. Another 8 miss, so that's a lot of miss. Like, you're definitely going to have to take this one up to level 9 for sure. And then you're going to get a 24 wheel slice of Push Aside. The battle opponent is moved to the bench and gains weight. I actually think there are some uses for Drampa. I think someone smarter than me is going to be able to figure out how to use that figure. Glalie. This Pokemon cannot gain weight while on the field, which means that you can run an ice deck against a fire deck and not have to worry about flame energy or like giving you the weight loss. If we look at the wheel, there's way too much going on this wheel for me. I prefer like 3 wheel slices, 4 at the most, and this has just a truckload here. But it does have the Ice Shard, which I think goes with the Weaviles. There could be some interesting decks that could be had there. It's a gold 60 wheel slice, opposing Pokemon within 2 steps of this Pokemon spin. If the result is anything other than a blue attack, the effects of Sphere Plates used by those Pokemon are nullified. 8 Protect, there's going to be 2 of those. A 20 wheel slice of Freeze Dry, which is going to hit for 100. It's going to deal plus 50 damage if the battle opponent is a water type Pokemon. The battle opponent and all opposing Pokemon adjacent to it spin. If they spin a blue attack, they become frozen. And then Diamond Dust is the same move that Glaceon has. And then we have Frostlass. I'm pretty sure it's Frostlass. It's an Ice Ghost type. This Pokemon can MP move through other Pokemon on the field. It is a 2 MP Pokemon though. If it MP moves through opposing Pokemon that are frozen, these move to your PC. Nice little ability there. I'm not gonna lie, Frostlass looks like it's a lot of fun to use. Blizzard 80 hits for 80. If this opponent's knocked out, the battle opponent becomes frozen. Diamond Dust, we've already gone over that. Destiny Bond. You know, not the worst wheel ever. I think it, you know, at level 5, it's only going to have, well, at level 9, it's going to have 4 miss. I definitely think that's a tough one. I don't know. This is like Midnight Lycanroc in the fact that I don't know what you would level up on this. Maybe Destiny Bond may be the way to go on that, but then you get knocked out as well. Blizzard, I don't know, Diamond Dust. I guess you'd go Diamond Dust, although that makes you really susceptible to gold. I just don't know. Maybe Blizzard. Maybe just crank up the Blizzard. Maybe the way to go on that. And then finally, for new figures, we have Snorunt. No abilities, but it does have a pretty interesting wheel. All the opposing Pokemon, it has Powder Snow for 40. All opposing Pokemon on the field spin. Those that spin miss become frozen. Not bad. and then the ice shard that we've already talked about. So there you go. Pretty interesting. I tried using Rayquaza. I did not pull Mega. Rayquaza still doesn't work. I mean, it's just far too inconsistent, and I think there are better figures out there. Although maybe Groudon and Kyogre can get a buff, and then since so many people are going to run Shiny Rayquaza and Rayquaza, then those two will get a buff and make them usable. Maybe. That's going to do it for just this brief little overview of the new stuff for the banner. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about the new figures? At this point, we've pretty much reached all utility figures that help solidify and complete decks, and the damage has just gotten absolutely insane on these figures. So keep that in mind when you go to build your next deck. Also, there were a ton of buffs to older figures, so make sure you go through and reallocate all of those wheels. That's all I've got for today. I hope you guys have a fantastic Monday. We are a holiday week. The girlfriend has a birthday tomorrow, and then it's the 4th of July. So it is very likely that there will be no videos on Pokemon Duel coming out for the next 2 days. I'm just warning you in advance. Also, if you did enter my subscription YouTube, thank you for 5,000 subs. I have sent an email out to you. Check your email to see if you are the winner. Check your spam email to see if you are the winner. And that's all I've got for today. So until next time.